Previously on Sweller Van Dweller. I've been robbed. Welcome to Sweller Van Dweller. So I've been sitting here, I've been trying to figure out, what does all this mean? I mean, like, do I continue with my trip? I kind of feel like just going home. I'm just so mentally deflated. There's nothing like critical missing, like a passport or anything. It's just some stuff, money, and it's the mental angst of being violated that just, it's like a punch in the gut and it knocks you down. So I just don't know, like, do I have the energy to keep going? But I mean, this trip has been the most complicated to organize ever in 20 years of travel, logistically. It's just been it's been one thing after another, trying to organize. It's holiday time here, so I'm trying to organize hostels, which I don't normally worry about booking them ahead of time, but I'm going to some very touristic places that are kind of like mountain holiday towns, and they get booked, and if they're not booked, the prices just skyrocket. So I've kind of been forced to book everything ahead of time, and like literally I'm booking like a 2-month holiday, sort of trying to figure things out like to the exact day, like where do I need to stay on this day? Am I staying in a hostel? And then which days am I renting a car? I have to rent a car. I try to pay for the car. My card gets refused. It's just it has been one, not only logistical. It's been a logistical nightmare. I almost gave up a few times because it was just too much. It was too complicated. Like I said, I had to not only organize the itinerary almost day by day, but I've built in a few extra days for bad weather. But then you got to pay for things, and I've had payment problems. And then I try to pay for the car in advance. My card gets refused, and then they say your reservation's not guaranteed unless you pay. So I'm like, I can't pay. Am I still gonna get the car? It's just. That's just the beginning, and then. The thing about Bariloche is most of the streets look practically deserted. It's not until you get to the main street, Mitre, where you start getting loads of people. And the reason why is the main street is where all the tourists go to spend money. It's full of pubs, chocolate shops, clothing shops, and pretty much anything else you want to buy. With money is no object because you're a tourist and you're on holidays, and money is no object. Well, what could this place be? Oh, a super expensive chocolate shop. And it is packed. Packed. Look at this stuff. Interesting thing is, here in Argentina, the economy
it's really in tough times. But just like anywhere else in the world, when Argentinians go on a holiday, rational thought and budgeting just goes out the window. What exactly is this crazy looking busy place? It's an ice cream shop, my friends. But it's not Guido. It's like some place that is way, way more expensive. But Argentinians flock here because they're on holidays and they just want to spend. But perhaps the longest line is to change money at the blue rate. There's a huge lineup. What do people wait for here?
For money exchange.
From what kind of money are you changing?
China to Argentinian money.
Chilean. You are from Chile?
Sí.
Yes. It's holiday. A holiday.
Yes.
Vacation.
Yes.
I would absolutely love to hear your thoughts about this video or even ways you think I can improve going forward. This kind of engagement is absolutely invaluable to small creators like me. Thanks so much. I find that one of the best ways to gauge prices around the world is to look at the price of a Big Mac, because McDonald's is pretty much everywhere. But in Argentina, inflation is crazy. So let's just forget about the price compared to other countries. When I got here, a Big Mac combo was 4,500 pesos. Then, about 2 weeks ago, it went up to 5,100 pesos. And today, it is 5,850 pesos. This is just in the space of 3 weeks. Inflation is nuts here. Okay, so I just did the math. In the 3 weeks that I've been in Argentina, the price of a Big Mac combo has increased twice for a total of 30%. I mean, inflation can be bad, but that is insanity. It's really unsustainable. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen here. It's going to be interesting. Now, I don't eat at McDonald's very much, but sometimes after traveling for a while, it's kind of nice to have something that you know tastes just like home. And let me tell you, the Big Mac tastes the same everywhere around the world. I don't know how they do it. Looks the same? Tastes the same? It is the same. And it's tough getting this out of the box. Tastes the same, and it's just as messy. The fries, size, shape, everything, even the taste of the ketchup, exactly the same. In Patagonia, there are ferries that you must take. There's no other way to get through these regions. You have to get through on the ferry. And you have to know obviously the exact day, because you have to book like months ahead. I've been reading on the internet where people who don't book, they go to the ferry and wait in a line to get on, like if they don't have a ticket. And some of them have had to wait for days. Can you imagine like being there with your kids and you're in this lineup to get on the boat and you're there for days? So, I mean, logistically, I had to plan down to the day, when am I gonna be at the ferry? So, I think I've made it clear that this has been a logistical challenge to figure all this out for this trip. And, you know, dealing with money and payments and rejected cards and things like that. So it's been a lot of challenge. And even though cycling back to what I started with, even though my energy is low and I feel like just going home, I think I should continue because it's been so much work. And like I said, even though I'm down with some financial loss because of the robbery, nothing critical and trip ending has been taken. So I just got to pull myself together, get some energy, and say, look, just keep going, you crazy lunatic. I mean, this is just life. You're healthy, and you just got to go for it. So, yeah, the other option is to, I imagine myself going home and then just feeling sad and sitting there, and it's like minus 20 to minus 30 in Canada with snow, sitting there in my house on the couch, all depressed. And I'm like, I would probably be thinking about, okay, I should plan to go back again next year, and then I'd be thinking, well, why didn't I just stay there? I mean, like I said, nothing critical has been taken. It's just a bit of a mental blow, financial blow, but pull it together, Sweller. Just keep going. And that is what I've decided to do. We will continue, my friends. We are gonna keep going.
If you enjoyed that video, then you should watch this one next. And if you've seen that one, well, then you should watch this one. And if you've watched them both, well, then you're one of my top subscribers. And I appreciate you so much. I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.